Good day everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we're going to discuss the digital business strategy. My name is Gungu and welcome to channel Gungu Learning. What is digital business strategy? Before we define digital business strategy, let's try to define what is a strategy first. According to Johnson and Sauls, refers to the direction and scope of an organization over the long term that can be achieved through configuration of its business resources within the changing environment in order to meet its market demand and fulfill its stockholders' expectation. Now that we understand what a strategy is, a digital business strategy should refers to the digital resources configurations and the digital market demand. This means that digital business strategy is actually a derivation or a part of the business strategy. As can be seen in this diagram, digital business strategy can also be divided into three types of digital business strategies based on the business processes. We have the external business processes and the internal business processes. For the internal business processes, as you can see here, that digital business strategy can be driven by the information system strategy. Meanwhile, on the buy side of the external business process, digital business strategy can be driven by the supply chain management strategy. And on the sell side of the external business process, it can be driven by the customer relationship management strategy or the marketing strategy. In our previous videos, we discussed about the importance of the digital media. Therefore, in building the digital business strategy, the business also needs to reconsider about the media channels. That is why one of the most important aspects of the digital business strategy is to build the digital channel strategies, such as overarching digital channel strategies like multi-channels or even omni-channels. Other than that, we can also build the mobile channels, social media channels, even build a platform strategy. Platform strategies usually can be divided into three types of platforms. We have the aggregation platforms, for example, marketplaces. The second one is the social platforms, like social medias. And the third one is the mobilization platforms, like crowdfunding. Next, we're going to discuss about the digital business strategy process model. According to Chevy, a generic process model for the digital business strategy involves at least 4 process cycles. The first one is the strategic analysis, which consists of analysis on the external business environment and the internal business process. The second process involves defining strategic objective, which includes the formulation of vision, mission, and also business objectives. The third process involves defining the strategy itself, including generating strategic options, evaluating those options, and select the options that are the fittest to the organization. The last process involves of strategic implementation, including planning the implementation, executing the implementation, and controlling the implementation or maintaining it. And after the fourth process is finished, since it's a cycle, then it will go back to the first process starting from there. Under certain conditions, this generic strategic process model can be made into a dynamic digital business strategic model. For example, if certain kind of digital business events occur, then the process model can be made more rapid and more concise, so it can directly respond to those events, just like in this diagram. Now let's look at the strategic analysis. In strategy analysis, you need to analyze the environmental factors outside your organizations and also the resources that your organization has. Why would you have to do that? Because you need justifications. Before you formulate the strategy, you need to justify that the digital business afford to formulate such strategy. There are many techniques of strategy analysis that can be done. I'm only going to overview some of them. For further details, you need to read on Jeffy's book. The first one is the resource analysis. Under resource analysis, companies or digital businesses has to recognize their tangible and intangible resources and formulate how those tangible and intangible resources can be used to increase the digital business capabilities of the digital business. The second one is the portfolio analysis. This can be done by creating a matrix looking at the current strategy of the company's digital business and looking at the future strategy of the company's digital business, just like this one. This way, the digital business can analyze where they lie at the moment and to which future they want to go to. The third one is the SWOT analysis. I'm pretty sure everyone already understands about SWOT analysis. This is where the company can decide whether to defend or to attack, or just to wait and build up a defense strategy or an attack strategy. The fourth one is the demand analysis. This is where digital business can analyze their current and future customers' potential demand for probably different digital services to different customer segments. And finally, there's the competitor analysis. If you read about Potter's 5 forces of competition, then you should understand this kind of competitor analysis. For example, in here, there's the buy side threats, sell side threats, and competitor threats. As you can see here, the unique additions to buy side threats and sell side threats are the intermediary threats, which of course it can also be a potential opportunity for the business. There are 3 competitive threats: new product threats, new entrants or competitor threats, and new business model threats. By understanding the competitive analysis or competitor analysis, the business will be able to understand the competitors in the market currently or in the future, and hence will be able to formulate an appropriate strategy in order to solve those threats. Okay, next let's look at the second process, which is the strategic objectives. This is where the digital business can set and determine their strategic objectives, including the vision, mission, and the objectives. Setting a vision requires the organization or the digital business to understand the organization and what will the digital business become in the future. Meanwhile, the mission is usually derived from the vision, and both the vision and mission are usually attested on a vision and mission statement. In setting up its objective, the digital business needs to understand the vision and mission first. After they understand the vision and mission, they can set up their objectives. There are several methods in setting up objectives. For example, by using the balanced scorecard. The balanced scorecard was first introduced by Kaplan and Norton, and it tries to balance several areas of measurement objectives instead of focusing only on the financial measurements objectives. These four areas includes the customer's concerns, and the second one is the internal business process concern, and the third one is, of course, financial measurement objectives concern, and finally, the fourth one is the learning and growth measurement objective concerns. The balanced scorecard tried to create a balance out of these four areas of measurement objectives. And next, the third strategic process model is the strategic definition. In defining the strategy, the digital business can come out or generate alternatives, different strategies, and then evaluate those different strategies and then select some strategies that fit with the goals of the business. For digital business, Chevy sought out 8 possible key digital business strategic decisions. 1. The decision on the digital business channels. For example, the decision to sell their digital services or product through only one channel, or through multi-channels, or even through a strategic omni-channel. 2. The decision on the market and product development strategy. Whether the digital business wants to develop the market or directly penetrate the market, develop the product, or diversify their product. The third decision is to decide on the market positioning and product differentiations, whether they want to be the digital service or product producer, or maybe intermediary, or even target different customer segments based on their product differentiations. The fourth decision is to decide on the business and revenue models that we have discussed on our early meetings. The fifth decision is on the marketplace restructuring. We already discussed this also in our previous meetings, whether the business wants to disintermediate, re-intermediate, or counter-mediate. And the last 3 decisions relates to the capabilities of the organizations, the supply chain capabilities, the knowledge management capabilities, and finally the organization resourcing capabilities. And finally, the last strategic process model is the strategy implementation. This involves the planning of the strategy, the execution, and the control of the strategy. The main key factors in strategy implementation for digital business is globalization. Now, companies like small and medium enterprises can go global. Although there are barriers, mostly the barriers are on the political and governmental side. We will discuss further details on the strategy implementation on the meeting after the mid-exam. That is all that we can discuss in this video. Thank you very much for your attention. I will be seeing you guys next week. Today, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.